Hi, welcome back to Creature Corner, brought to you by Dell and Gnomon School of Visual Effects. My name is Jared Krichevsky. I am a creature and character concept artist working in the industry today. Little movies like Godzilla x Kong, GVK, Megan, Renfield, and so much more. Creature Corner is a show where we hang out and make monsters and talk about monsters, talk about movies, talk about things that have to do with creatures and corners. So tonight, my guest returning for a third round of the Kaiju Classic. It's the Kaiju Master himself, DopePope. Yeah.
That's great.
I like that you pop up in the corner and then you're like, ah.
What's going on?
It's good, man. How was your week?
Wow, look at us. You're like bright blue back there, and I'm bright.
I know. Red and blue. It's
very
like
colorful.
Red versus blue. Yeah, you're bathed in like aftermath of like a type of attack.
I'm in the depths of evil.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the sculpting, right? Let's make some monsters. All right. So this is I worked on it like maybe 5 minutes before the show. I haven't like touched it really much. So each week you see it is the week I'm sculpting on it.
Have you thought about it and like how you're gonna attack certain things? Are you gonna make major changes, or you're just gonna keep? I'm
gonna keep on the path. I didn't have any like major reservations after last week's session, so I was like, okay, I'm feeling at least decent about it. Looks like you got some color and
Yeah, I didn't do too much sculpting changes, but I threw a bunch of color on it just to get. And now, because I just love the material selection and collection of materials over the years that I built up, I always take like almost 45 minutes to an hour and just click on different mats.
It's
therapeutic. It's fun.
Yeah.
Cool to see what happens when you do that. You just like you see different shapes and you see different forms and you get different ideas, and it's just fun to watch things happen so fast, like color shifts that you couldn't even conceive of a minute ago.
You could definitely get caught doing that for like forever.
Yeah, it's it's unproductive but interesting.
Yeah, but it's neat.
Yeah,
sure is neat. Yeah, I don't think I've thought much about it.
I feel like it's important, at least for me, there's a lot of like, I think we spoke last week of how a lot of times the way something comes out can be a happy accident. And if you have a bunch of tricks to create happy accidents in your bag, then you can kind of have more control over those happy accidents.
That's actually a really good point.
So yeah, so I, like if I just go through and I slap on a material and it immediately does something beautiful, that like I can use that, like that's exactly what I'm looking for, and it takes a second to do, and like that's my go-to. I like, at least for this sculpt, it might not work for the next one, but at least for this one with this paint scheme, that's looking cool. So I like remember that's the one to go to for a certain render. A lot of different materials have different moods to them, and that matters as well.
Are you rendering mostly in? You're not rendering in ZBrush at all. Are you just carrying those over to Keyshot?
I want to, but I don't think I can for crazy reasons. They stopped supporting the bridge. So
yeah.
I would have to literally like do some digital surgery on this guy for that to happen. Same amount as the tremendous OBJ, and then split to parts in my older ZBrush that still runs Keyshot. So that's a chore. So I'm thinking I'll just stay in ZBrush and render for today to see you.
Do you do a lot of rendering in ZBrush?
I used to before Keyshot. I didn't go out of ZBrush to do renders, and sometimes they came out better than Keyshot stuff. It's just,
I know it's
for me.
It has a look to it, and we talk about the ZBrush look to the renders, but yeah, it can look really nice in its own way.
I found that when I started using Keyshot more often, I remember I was going back and re-rendering all my models, and then I would have a ZBrush render and a Keyshot render, and I noticed that Keyshot looks like a scene out of a movie.
Yeah.
It looked more like an illustration. So I was like, hey, these are actually both very nice because I rendered this subject matter in both. And they both looked really presentable and cool. So it's just now you have two ways to do things.
Yeah. You can definitely tweak it very quick, and the variety of renders that you can get out of ZBrush, especially with like the NPR materials and all that stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is very addictive. I love throwing that stuff on there just to see what stuff looks like.
But I've definitely presented things with like ZBrush renders, to clients. Usually, if they need it's really handy for like blueprint type looks.
Yeah, exactly.
If
you want to really just showcase the thing from every angle, it's clear as day, very easy to read. ZBrush is great for that. And then you go into Keyshot for those beautiful beauty renders.
You need your cinematic shot.
Yeah, but you can totally get just as cinematic and moody in ZBrush if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think it has to do more with your compositing method.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that it's a matter of just saving out a bunch of different stuff and then in Photoshop going to town.
And it really is to me, compositing is everything in the last stages. That really, I think most artist techniques come down to how they composite and paint over stuff. It's just for everybody.
It can make or break, and I find there's a lot of serendipity involved in that as well.
Yeah, that's its own separate and unique part of the process. What's up, Ed? Yeah, Benjio, good to see you, man. Nice to have you back. Matt is on the way. He got caught in some weird, there was a bank heist or something. I don't know.
Oh, what?
He said blah 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 bank heist.
Get away with it.
Had to get away in a car. Something like that. I don't know. I don't really read that stuff. Yeah.
So to avoid doing it on the stream, I went down each subtool and added subdivisions to them, and it took me almost an hour to do. I find that it's the latest ZBrush acts weird when you try to turn a Dynamesh piece to a subdivided piece. It's giving me immediate errors almost on everything. And
Really?
I have to hit it with a smooth, and then sometimes hit close holes, and then it decides that was what it needed, and it works.
Mm. Have you tried?
Annoying.
Have you tried before you subdivide it? You go to mesh integrity and hit fix mesh.
No, I almost never touched that key, but
that's like the little this is the little secret to fix all your crappy geometry. So geometry, mesh integrity. You can check the mesh, and it's gonna say it's got 16 edges, whatever.
Okay.
And then you fix mesh. It fixes it almost instantly. And then let's see if I get. Yeah, no problem subdividing. I guess so. That's 36 million.
That one piece.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, no, it's both arms.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But try that fix mesh.
Yeah, I absolutely will. If that's
one of those little hidden buttons. So all the time, if you get ZBrush errors or ZBrush errors, or it's not subdividing, whatever it is, check that little button. Warbat, Warbat is on the way.
Yeah,
he was caught in traffic.
He's asking him for by
the moniker. So we call you Tiamat now.
I gotcha.
Agent Tiamat.
Let's see.
Tiamat. Tiamat's lair.
Yeah, lots of people have been asking me how do I feel about Tiamat dying in the movie so fast, and I'm like, I kind of get it. But I go through emotions like, oh, I wish she was still alive.
Yeah, are you in mourning a little bit?
A little bit, but it's a weird combination of being like thrilled and super happy and and
You're
sad.
like, my baby.
Yeah, I guess they call that bittersweet.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel all that bittersweet. It's just, I guess I understand that things have to happen, and Godzilla is quite the badass. So what can you do? I mean,
Well, yeah, you can't. I mean, Matt knows that feeling. Warbat's head was ripped off and like drank.
I mean, so
Like he drank his blood like it was Gatorade.
Mechagodzilla got
It's a refreshing snack.
one, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's really, are you going up against Godzilla? You're not really going to be walking away. So
You're not. Yeah. There's no like. Maybe I'll make it. And he rips through quite a bit of monsters in that.
I remember back like being a kid and watching the show era monster movies, and like if there was a 2-second clip of another monster, how excited I would get.
Oh man.
You know, like, and they did nothing, and you still felt like, wow, Rodan was in that movie, and Anguillus was in that movie. Wow, I like that movie because Anguillus is in it for a second. You know, and there's a lot of that went on back then. So I imagine the kids today watching the movies are feeling the same way. Only now the special effects are a billion times better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's something about it, about seeing just whatever giant monsters on the screen. It's magic. Ooh. Just starting to like detail this out.
Yeah, you can go to town with it now.
Look at that.
Look at that. And sometimes just cutting some shells into it,
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's called like that organic greeble.
Yeah, it really is.
Like on a machine, it would be greeble, but on
Yeah. You know what? You're totally right.
What do you call it?
It really is greebling.
That's the good stuff, and that's the stuff like you want to be doing right away because that's the fun thing to do.
Yeah,
You always make something look good, but you gotta like fight the urge to start doing that right away.
It can get muddy real quick if you're not careful.
And you could also like if you're still in your suck stage, like we say.
Yeah.
Adding that kind of detail, it's not helping anything. It's just
Yeah. You really have to resolve those primary shapes first, or you're gonna regret it later. I hope I don't regret it now. Yeah, kids these days, they don't know about growing up with like dudes in suits, Saturday morning TV.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that last monster movie, the Godzilla X Kong, was actually homage to Saturday morning cartoons. Like
It is very much so.
that feel that you had watching them, like that action-packed Saturday morning event from like 8 a.m. to noon. That's what that felt like. That movie was just like an assault on the senses.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the best way.
Like blue raspberry. Like if that movie had a flavor, it's like blue raspberry and Baja Blast. and I missed it. I missed that feeling. Do you still put on cartoons on Saturday mornings just to kind of carry on the
Do
tradition?
they even have them? I don't know if they have them anymore.
I just put on whatever streaming, like X-Men '97. I watched that Saturday.
I watched a bunch of X-Men '97 the other night. It was actually really good.
It's really really good.
I was really impressed with it.
Man, it looks beautiful, and like I don't know if you caught episode 5, but man,
I think I got up to 4. I got one.
Oh, you're like okay,
like doing some really mean things to people. Who does he think he is, this guy? So, yeah, I'll definitely catch up on the rest.
Well, not for spoilers, but just prepare yourself. Episode 5 is very crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
and like the only other cartoon I watch right now is Invincible, which is also another.
Oh, Invincible's great, man.
Yeah, fantastic, but it's really good.
Very funny.
Yeah. But I don't think it gives me that Saturday morning feel.
Yeah.
So completely violent, grotesque. But yeah, I mean, it's like I always wanted cartoons to look like that. So the fact that no one ever died in G.I. Joe with a billion lasers going across the screen every episode always bugged me.
Oh, all the like.
Yeah, like no one ever gets like hurt.
Man.
If the jet gets hit, they just
Yeah, they eject. Yeah.
The only people that got hurt were the robots.
Kids cartoon. You can't do that.
I got it, but you're always looking for that.
It's the same reason why the Ninja Turtles, like the Foot Clan, why they were robots.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
I mean, I was watching that stuff the same time I was watching Ninja Scroll, you know?
Oh, Ninja Scroll is like probably one of my favorite animes ever
Oh, it's
made.
one of the best.
I'm quite like baffled why it didn't become a thing. Really, it's like still very obscure, especially in Japan. They don't care about it at all.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. You know how you could go in Japan and find like books on top of books about any random anime you've ever heard of. I couldn't find one on Ninja Scroll, not one.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, this is my favorite one. Apparently, they just didn't think there was all that over there.
Huh.
No one, it didn't do well there. It was
Wow. I think you talk to most dudes my age, and they'll remember Ninja Scroll.
I was so impressed with it. Like I was just in love with the character designs and the craziness and like the.
Oh man, that was like the first like bloody anime I ever like remember seeing.
So I'm trying to make my tortoise stand upright, and I'm not sure that it's economically possible for it to stand on its hind legs. It kind of looks a little silly, but you just keep punching it, and
you're gonna have to. Yeah, you like when you really want something and you've gone halfway. You're like, well, might as well go further.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of funny. I can't imagine it like sustaining this pose for very long anyway. So maybe it's just doing it just for a real quick.
Well, it kind of rears up and then maybe stomps down. That could be a move.
Yeah. I did get to see last Late Night with the Devil. I watched.
Oh, how was that?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a different take on a horror movie than something I'm used to. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't terribly scary or anything, but it was kind of unique, and that's hard to say these days about it.
Yeah.
A unique story to tell.
I always feel like if you watch a lot of horror movies, they're just not going to be scary for you in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you consume horror, you probably consume a lot of horror.
Yeah, indeed.
And so like everything's just a little bit numbing and you're just like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, totally. And all the tricks don't work on you anymore.
Yeah,
you know what's coming, and there's really so many your own fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop watching it.
But also, but when something really does shock you, or you remember it, it definitely sticks out.
Yeah, and if something like that said, and being that well versed in horror, when something does come along and actually make an impact, even being that advanced at it, I guess that's what you're just kind of waiting for.
Yeah.
You can't wait for that to happen. Every now and then, something will surprise you and actually wow you.
Yeah, I think Stephen King talked about that you sift through a lot of things just to find that one nugget or that one piece that you'll always remember, or it's gonna stick with you.
Like I guess what's infused in me is like it happened way back when I was young and impressionable, and that's what I'm chasing now. That feeling of like being that terrified ever again. I guess the movie that scared me the most was, I don't know if you even heard of it. It's called The Sentinel.
Okay.
It's from the 1977, I think.
Okay.
It's really not even that great of a movie. It just did something. It was really, really scary. But I was 8 years old, I think. So
yeah, and you remember
like that.
You remember those things, especially around that age too, which is so your imagination's at its peak. And like I remember, I was afraid to go into the basement because I thought Freddy was in there. Like I don't remember being introduced to Freddy, but I remember just being afraid that Freddy was down there.
No, I think Freddy, it was awesome, and I enjoyed the movies, but I don't think Freddy ever scared me. I think the first one was probably the scariest one, and it had some dark moments, and but after that, they just became like fun movies.
Yeah, he becomes more of like a demon trickster than very scary entity.
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing with his food, but
yeah,
I mean, I kind of felt that way about the first It with the with Curry, Tim Curry as Pennywise, because it was more silly to me.
Yeah, he looked great though.
He did look great.
Scary looking.
It took me 3 episodes to get to the detailing, and I haven't even resolved the feet or the hands. Just looking for those happy accidents.
Yeah.
What you were talking about systems you have for happy accidents? Is there any that you have as a trick? Mine is mirror and weld. I use that for everything.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll take pieces and then mirror it and smash them together and see if I get something happy out of that.
Yeah, I've absolutely done that technique, trying to get some crazy shapes, and it totally works.
It works a lot.
Yeah, especially with if you're doing an alien looking thing.
Yeah.
And it's that's that weird symmetry of just crazy shapes. That's what sells it. Just duplicating stuff over and over. It's it's just very appealing. It looks like you did a whole bunch of work.
Yeah, you're like, man, I'm crushing this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You trick yourself, like you know what went into it.
Like,
and
man, I'm doing really good.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that way. I remember watching like when I felt secure and confident enough with my sculpting abilities in ZBrush, because when you first start, you have none of that confidence.
Yeah.
You try to watch a tutorial and you don't even know enough to follow along with the tutorial because
Yeah.
you're like, wait, he said put a sphere in the center of the screen. How do you do that? So like if you don't know how to do that, then you have no business watching a tutorial. So you have to like learn the super basics. But once I got like 6 months in, I felt confident enough to watch tutorials, and I remember watching Kurt Apstein's.
Yep. Yeah.
And you know, his stuff was just like probably his stuff was when I first saw it. It was some of his work was exactly why I wanted to learn ZBrush. I said that's what I want to do. This is doing. That's what I want to do. His stuff was gorgeous, and so I watched his videos, and he had some really great techniques about just like how to sculpt and like even learn stuff that I still do today. Like he said, you add all this detail to your organic shape, and then hit it with this smooth valleys or smooth peaks, and then you just smooth the tops, and then you leave all the recesses in there, and it's really strange, organic, but it looks real. And I did that. I was doing that for so long. I remember I sculpted the Cloverfield monster and did that technique on it, and I was like, this looks amazing. I was so happy with myself. And things that you discover from watching other people work.
Yeah.
So when you said what are those happy accident things, I remember you trying to do that on everything I sculpted just to see what would happen, you know. And it always looked good, you know. Maybe sometimes it was a little too much or not enough, but yeah, it definitely was something that I would go to. I mean, even now, I bet you put in his tutorials and you'll
probably still find them.
Yeah, and they're great.
There's still like a lot of knowledge,
of course,
from those early videos. Oh, see, it looks like you found the balance.
Yeah, it takes a lot of like. It's silly, like it's making me laugh. I don't know if that's a good thing, but he's standing.
It looks. I mean, it's a giant two-headed turtle monster.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? You're gonna have to run with it.
Yeah, I thought he would be cooler looking standing up with this thing kind of. But yeah, I can keep going with it. I mean, let's see what it looks like when we get out of T. It's always super low. I'm gonna hit OK on this and see what happens.
Hi everyone.
Hi Matt. How is traffic?
It was really cool, dude. Let me tell you about it. Yeah, it was an entire exciting ordeal.
They shut it all down?
Yeah, it was all like blocked off the entire block I was on.
Holy moly!
In like the last hour that I was meeting a friend to shoot some pool, and like I do every Tuesday, and then I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what happened. I mean, I assume we'll hear about it on the news. I don't know. What are you guys doing?
We're sculpting some kaiju. Do you like that? Do you like kaiju?
We heard you're into kaiju.
I'm into having a good time.
We're just having a good time.
It actually looks better now that it has like its full resolution. It still doesn't look great, but it looks better.
Yeah, and I just got home, so you're probably going to hear my dog. Yeah, what's up?
I have a question for you. I was confused. How do you pronounce your last name? Millard or Millard?
It's Millard.
Millard.
You ever feel
Millard?
Yeah.
No, there are people that pronounce it Millard. Like, there's a guy that lives here somewhere in Portland who comes into one of the local pubs, and his last name is the same, but he pronounces it Millard.
Huh.
I always say Millarde.
Millard.
Millarde.
My lord.
My lord.
My lord. I have but 6 pence.
None the richer.
Yeah, exactly. If you're feeling like a Millard, yeah, we'll call you Millard. It's a mood, I guess.
It's a mood.
It's a mood.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. My last name.
Exactly.
Like a vibe. Killer vibe, man. Ooh. I just thought it was cool that like sloths had like really long claws, but like
Yeah, they got those really long.
really long claws, but they don't like. They're not like vicious with them.
They can't be.
Yeah, I was about to say they can't be.
They can't.
Take
Yeah,
like 2 weeks to hit you with them.
They can't even do anything. Like they can't even do anything.
I guess then that's why they have to look so badass, so that you don't even think, you know. They're more just for hanging, right? So that they don't have to
They're
actually
just for hanging.
their wrists.
That's all they do. They just hang, dude.
They just hang out.
There he is.
There's the boy.
There he is.
They just like hang out and then like are slow. It's pretty awesome.
I saw a brand new animal I'd never seen in my life. I forgot the name of it, but it was on a TikTok video. And the guy in the video is actually saying, "How have I gone my whole life without seeing this animal?" And I'm saying, I haven't seen it either. But it's like it's a big animal for not having ever seen it before. And he was calling it a bear cat, and it had like a face of it looked like a bear mixed with some cat. It had a long, big, thick, bushy tail.
Oh, that's cool.
It looked kind of Wolverine-ish, but way bigger.
Bear cat.
I don't think that's the real name of it. He was just calling it bear cat. It had like
Is that been too wrong?
That's it. That's it.
Been too wrong.
Yeah, I could have been wrong.
Okay, look at this thing.
Yeah, I never seen that thing in my life.
What is that? It looks like an otter.
Yeah, it does.
That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, he does have a big bushy tail. Look at that guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But he's kind of cute too.
he's cute.
I like him.
I mean, he could be cute.
I think he's a good guy.
Oh, look at that face. Look.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I want to hang out with him.
This one is a wizard.
He's wise.
I just don't know how I've never seen this thing before. What else haven't I seen?
This guy knows spells. But they look very some strong lower tooth. They look like otters, like big fluffy otters. Wow, that's weird.
Look at that body. Yeah, it's just so
Been too wrong.
interesting. Yeah,
Bear cats or been too wrongs.
and they're not that small either. So it's like
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, that's
the
pretty.
one I saw was actually bigger than the one in that picture.
I mean, it looks like an offshoot of like lemurs, like a lemur and a wolverine or a badger,
Yeah,
like got
yeah,
together.
exactly. Yeah, in that family.
Yeah.
You know, when you see animals and you like, I guess I'm more. If the smaller the thing is, the more okay I am that I have never seen it or heard of it.
Yeah.
But if it's bigger than a dog, I feel like I should have at least seen pictures of it at some point.
Look at it. He's got some great personality in those whiskers. It's really cool. Well, I have not seen that either. So
If you're not inspired by a brand new bear cat.
yeah, man, use it for your reference. Let's share that tomorrow. Everyone will lose their minds.
Oh, you get all the people who like, I knew about the bear cat
I knew about it.
before it was cool.
I knew about it.
Yo, Pound Deezy, what's up, my dude? Palmer's in the house. It's my old buddy.
Your old bud?
We used to play music together.
He still plays music?
I imagine.
I imagine. He said, "What up, brother?"
My boy.
My boy. My boy.
My beautiful boy.
My beautiful boy.
Dang it, Bobby.
My boy. Yeah, we're just making monsters today. If that's okay. If that's okay with you.
I was about to say Maya is not fun. ZBrush, yeah, ZBrush is fun. Though. You should totally,
Yeah, my
totally check it out. Yeah, well, Palmer's using Blender recently. He's been getting into 3D.
oh, sick, dude.
Stuff. Yeah, it's looking really good.
I mean, that is like the total upside to Blender is just anyone can pick it up. Like my nieces and nephews pick it up. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's free. There's a huge support system.
yeah.
A million
Lots of
tutorials, a lot of tools, a lot of cool stuff.
A really fervent, active fan base.
Yeah, I think my second most liked tweet of all time
It was
me sharing a screenshot from my phone of me installing Blender, and I got like 2,000 likes and shares and replies. I was like, "What the hell?"
like, why is this doing better than my art?
Yeah, it's been better than any of my art has ever done. Incredible. Feels good.
You're like, thanks, guys. Thanks for all the support.
Thanks. I'm not using Blender
I'll
anymore.
never use Blender ever again.
You're like, I did that as a joke, guys. Yeah, I guess you didn't get it.
Yeah. Of course, I want to keep paying $300 a month to use Maya.
Everybody does.
300 a month.
Yeah, it's close.
Oh,
to
I just paid the
yeah.
just paid the 700 for ZBrush or whatever it was.
Yeah, they've upped the charge. It's like $45 a month now. Pretty exciting stuff, guys.
It's really great.
I'm like, well, there's one subscription I can't get rid of. Like they've got me controlled.
Yeah.
They've got it. They've all got us. Unless you use Blender and only Blender. That's all right. I can always go back to bubblegum. I don't care.
No one cares.
Bubblegum and dirt. Check this out. My guys made a blender.
He's upset.
Slayer prefers Maya.
Yeah, he likes Maya more. I want to render an Arnold.
Making monsters. Sculpting creatures. Friendship.
Friendship again?
Friendship.
Friendship. That guy's definitely friendly, Matt.
Oh yeah, he's a big friendly baby.
He's just a big squishy bear.
Oh, hell no. So, okay, I see. Yeah, we got a couple of. How many active points? Well, first, how detailed are we going to get with the models? Oh yeah, Alec hitting us with the business. I mean, it'd be cool to have a super detailed model, but just depends on the trajectory of our. Are we going to keep working on it, or is 3 the cutoff, or what? I mean. Looks like DopePope's got it locked in.
Yeah, he's pretty much done.
I'm screwing around with like different poses and stuff at this point because I kind of always do this though. Like I said, I'm never happy with just one pose.
Yeah, it's
you
hard.
Just do the T pose and then you just go to town, make them stand up, make them lay down, make them aggro position. That's kind of, to me that's the fun stuff. Like you have
playing with your toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You built this toy.
I made a toy. Now I'm gonna play with the toy.
Yeah.
100%.
Funny. Yeah, that's so accurate. Yeah, and how many active points? Active points.
Active points would be on the tool, right?
Yeah, like the one that you have active. I mean, in all, like I've had. Z projects that have had like hundreds of millions of polygons in them. But what is the deal? It's at like the second you get to around 20 or 30,000 points, you're because you end up in like a way higher subdivision level. After about 7 subdivision levels, it's like you can't really do that.
It ceases to function after 7 subdies.
But once you do these workflows over and over and over again, you don't run into those problems because you're working it out ahead of time and splitting things off. And
yeah, I was gonna say if you still need resolution at 30 million, you probably could have done something differently.
Yeah, you need to split it off
a few steps back.
For sure.
But I get into these situations where like I want to keep adding more surface detail to stuff. Like go in and be more intricate with the lumps and the bumps and the scales and the spikes, but I'm already at like 15K or 15 million. That starts to become hairy. But yeah, I find that it just absolutely gets laggy if one subtool is at 30. It was like 7 to 8 subdivisions.
There is kind of a drop off point after 30 where you can get too heavy, but you can always decimate it. You can bring it down, work on top of it.
I remember when I first got a new computer, and I couldn't go past like 5 or 8 million polys on a subtool, and then I got more RAM, and I was able to go to like 15, and I was jumping for joy. I couldn't believe that I was working that high, and it really made a difference. Everything started to look better.
Yeah.
And
a good computer will do everything for you.
Yeah. Now I can swing around 30 million, and it doesn't lag all that much on my latest computers because it's a beast. But I think, no matter what you have, I think it's going to stop at some point.
Raking the forms.
Nice.
You gotta rake the forms.
There he is.
Slayer agrees.
He knows what's up.
He knows what's up.
My man.
He's a great sculptor.
Yeah, some say that he's one of the old masters reincarnated.
Some say. I believe it, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised, I'm not gonna lie.
He's a poet.
Poet laureate Slayer Millard.
Slayer Millard.
Slayer Millard.
Slayer Millard.
Lord.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Don't forget to save your work.
Save. Save that work.
Yeah, he's got half antlers, half tentacles.
Antler
Like
tentacles.
horns. Yeah, he's got horns
Yeah.
up, tentacles down low. It's just a mutated kaiju.
He's just a bad boy.
He's definitely a bad boy.
Like he's a mean guy. Like,
You still dating that bad guy?
you dating that bad guy?
He's
Bad guy.
such a bad guy.
That guy with
Girl, dump him.
half
Dump him, girl.
It is, dude.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Dump him, girl. Like, Popes, yours is kind of friendly. Yours is a friendly kaiju.
Yeah, he could
I
probably.
feel like yours is like on the heroic side.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
humanity is.
I don't think you can make turtles look mean, and even if you do, they still kind of good.
They're still turtles.
Camera looks badass, as badass as you could get a turtle to look, and he's still kind of like, you can tell he's good.
He's a turtle. Yeah, turtles are just friend shapes,
Yeah,
They're largely defensive and they're kind of friendly.
Another thing I tend to do is just go in with the trim dynamic brush and just start flattening things for no reason whatsoever, and I just love watching what happens. Usually I like what I see and I leave it, but it's really there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like, because I can.
Yeah, exactly. Like get that highlight change, that planar change. You're like, you know what? That's actually pretty tight.
Dying. Oh. Perfect.
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 And the day I found out the topological button works on more other things other than the one brush it was on that one time, that was a major upgrade.
Topo brush?
The topological button.
Wait, what are you saying?
You know the topological button?
Yeah.
Like wait, it just affects the one subtool that you're on or the area.
Oh, gotcha.
So like I thought that was assigned to just like one brush. And then I discovered that you can set any brush you're using. So like I started instead of just using it with sculpting brushes, I started using it with move brushes, and it was really helpful. I just love when you find out things that were there for 5 years, and you didn't.
You're like, oh wow, that's how that works.
Suddenly they're game changers, and you're like, this was here the whole time. That's fun for me though. It's like because the longer you are involved in a thing, the less those keep coming. So they get more rare.
You get stuck in your ways, so you don't play around and go like, oh, what does this do? What does this do?
Yeah, I mean the what does this do era? It feels like it's over, but there's a lot of shit in ZBrush they still don't know what it does. But I don't necessarily think it's very helpful in my line of work either. It's like there's a lot of stuff that is just not useful to me at all, and it's there.
Like the stencil menu or like the layer menu. Like I've never messed with the layers.
I'm shocked. I thought you have, like, 'cause some of your work looks so intricate and so crazy that I'm like, you must be using layers.
Dude, I never use layers.
I use layers all the time.
Matt?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but I know myself. I'll forget to stop that.
Yeah.
And I'll go a million moves in, and then I'll be like, I ruined everything. Like, I can't keep track of stuff like that. It's so hard. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it do things that only layers can do, and it definitely seems useful.
Matt likes layers.
They're necessary for production.
Yeah,
you have to. Yeah, you have to.
But I usually pull them in whenever I start getting it to that final, like, questionable stage of your design to where you could possibly change it 80% or possibly just, punch in a little definition here or there. Like, that's whenever I'm really, like, using it. And then I'll just duplicate it, bake it out, and be like, okay, here's my new base.
Or for me, it's like fine detail. Pores, skin,
layers you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can dial them in and stuff, and then I'll
You gotta dial that up or down, and
I'll make 3 layers, and I'll morph target one, and then just blend them in between on another layer. They're very, very useful. You can just really screw your workflow up if you don't understand them.
the best way to screw up your workflow.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
Any advice on growing and generating your own design concepts? Referencing can only go so far sometimes. Is it just repetition? Jared, take the floor.
Well, look, the imagination is a muscle, and you got to flex it. And so, like, working on your visual library, so collecting references, and then we've talked about this before, but like collect your references and then don't look at them. Like let your mind, let your imagination work.
Oh, Pope, turn your camera off
Oh, okay.
so we can all get our 3 sculpts up, I think.
Get our sculpting on.
Cool.
Yeah, like I don't know. Repetition's a big part of it, but
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that really helped me was sculpting animals, right?
yeah,
Like, the second you start really diving into your reference and you're looking at things, that's just like taking in a little bit of visual language. Like sculpt a couple of animals, like some weird creatures, like
yeah.
a mammal, like, just go through all of them, do all that stuff, and then that'll start building in your physical language, and you start seeing like those designs and the way that things are built, like all over whenever you're looking. Like through execution, you learn like kind of a muscle memory and also a curiosity and realization to what all the shapes are doing in the entire world, right?
Start with a study and then kind of morph it from there. Like try sculpting a deer and then make it an alien deer. Like what does that look? Sometimes just push around shapes. Push around some shapes, try something. Happy, we all talk about happy accidents.
Yeah.
There's a phenomenon called pareidolia, where you look at a tree, for example, and you see a face in the tree. So kind of like, yeah, that's called pareidolia. It's when you see faces in objects or nature. It's your $10 word of the day. There you go. Let's do some pareidolia. Yeah, like this orchid that looks like a skull, like a baby skull.
Oh man.
Or you see, faces in nature, or strange occurrences. Some of these are edited.
Are you scary?
Yeah, like that's what they mean. Go back to nature. Go look at nature. Let your imagination run wild. Yeah, this dude, right? But yeah, go back to nature. Look at weird things. Build up your visual library. I like to study, photography and animal anatomy, all those things. Learn weird biology facts. Watch a lot of movies, read books. Books are cool. No? We hate books.
Can't read.
Can't read. Matt won't read. Can't read or won't read.
I am not able to read.
Would not, could not. Would not, could not read a book. It's another fun happy accident is you just kind of lasso some things. Just lasso some shapes. Happy accidents.
Yeah, your organic Greeble really brought that creature to life, though.
Oh yeah. Once that stuff started happening,
Love those crazy arms, man. Those are great.
gave him the big sloth arms. I feel like a lot of the shells and greebling, that's a bit of a trope, but
it's a trope for a reason, though.
yeah, because it works.
Because it looks great.
It always works. We're all trying to turn into crabs anyway.
Oh yeah, Palmer, dude. That's like that's a perfect example. Like studying giant tarantulas and stuff, and doing like a perfect model of a spider. Like you learn that crazy anatomy, and you start. I put it in it's in this model right now. Like it's such a fascinating like physiology. It's such a weird thing. It's the head and the torso put together, and it's basically a land crab, or crabs or water spiders.
Yeah, they're freaky. Bugs are freaky.
Yeah, they're so the way they're built, though, they're absolutely terrifying and beautiful at the same time.
They're like little hydraulics,
yeah, the machines.
Little hydraulic push and pull. It's such a simple mechanism, but it's also terrifying. As a kid, spiders were scary.
They're still scary, bro.
They're still scary. I didn't tell you I had a black widow in the garage. I killed it.
Yeah.
That's always like, how long was this in here?
Yeah. How many times did I almost die?
How many times? Where was the stain? Weird caterpillars, yeah, those are great. Weird caterpillars, nudibranchs. You ever see those things? They're like little colorful banana slugs. They're awesome.
It's interesting. Before I didn't like him standing up, and now I kind of like him standing up.
Yeah, see?
Like he just threw the buildings on, and it's just
I would. I bet he would waddle when he walks.
Yeah, he's just doing this to
He's
show
just
off.
kind of like shimmying. That's his kind of like battle cry.
I probably broke like his entire skeletal structure to make this happen, but whatever. I was also thinking about like I pictured his tongue being more like the from Tremors that has multiple.
Oh, that's fun.
Tongue, instead of just going over regular old tongue. I don't know. Unless I do it, maybe I'll take a little time and do that. See what
Just got to slap it in there.
Slap it in.
that.
You just got to slap it in there, see if it works.
Nobody's stopping me from doing it. I'll just do it. I'll do it on the standing version.
That's the Matt Millard method.
That's the Matt Millard method.
That's the Matt Millard method.
Trademark Triple M. Slap it in, see if it works.
Slap it in. Try it.
Throw it in there. Let it do its thing. Got to give it a chance.
And I did want to try it. Do another version of what his arms and legs and head pulled into his shell. But
Oh, yeah.
that'll be kind of like a,
Defense mode. This is our favorite song here on
This is our favorite song. Have we talked about this song? If you stream with us enough, you'll.
you know the song? I didn't even.
Oh, yeah. We know this song.
Oh, we know this song.
Oh my God!
Do, 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 do. Tubes. That's just a fact.
Tubes forever.
Tubes, man.
A way of life right here.
You want to be a good artist, you got to make.
Exactly.
Was it today? Today's actually the birthday of.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was either today or yesterday.
Whose birthday?
The anniversary of the first season of I Think You Should Leave.
when it first premiered was 2019.
Wow.
Time flies, man.
The skit where the guys, everyone's falling out of the coffins.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
yeah,
could not breathe. I was like, so on.
Corn Cob TV.
Corn Cob
Coffin
TV.
Farm is a real show.
Yeah, the concepts of the sketches are deep too. Like they're like multi-layered. Just to have like this weird joke that only like 4 people are gonna get.
Yeah, it's pretty brilliant.
Like a lot of this time, I don't think I'm actually even getting the joke, and I'm still laughing because I'm bewildered. You
It's
know,
just
like,
so
I don't know
dumb, yeah.
what I'm laughing at, but I'm laughing. I'm having a good time, but I might be laughing at you and not with you on this one because I just don't. But then there's stuff that's like not deep at all, like when he's got the hot dog outfit on and the hot dog shirt is in. He's like, "We gotta find who did this."
It could be any one of us.
Maybe you.
Random. I'm gonna get this random hot dog car. No one's gonna take it.
Let's slop him up. And then he's like sitting there on the beach and he looks over and there's the baby.
It's crazy.
There's no one like Tim. No one. If you haven't watched Detroiters, it's also great.
No. Did you say you had a fast and easy way to make tubes?
Oh, we make tubes.
Oh, buddy,
Because you're talking about making tubes.
are we talking about it in ZBrush?
Yeah.
Just making tubes? A lot of ways you can make tubes.
You have an efficient way of making tubes follow a specific path. Like, I remember seeing someone do it, and I said, "Wow, that's the way." And then I forgot it, and I don't even know which tutorial I saw it. But basically, he like put down like integers of it, like at certain points along the path that he wanted to go, and then he hit a button, and it just filled in automatically all by itself.
Was that that sounds like Nomad?
Yeah, that's what.
Well, it's definitely doable in ZBrush. I think it was Mike.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it then. That is insane.
My man.
He's so dumb.
So what? He's laying down like a curve line or something, and then
Something like that, yeah. Where it have like certain points, he was like, "All right, now here's where it's gonna follow this path, and then it's gonna go up around this this appendage and it's going to go behind the back and go up into the
Well, you can use Z spheres for that, and then create a chain,
Mm.
And essentially do it that way.
Yeah,
I don't know what the
sounds like it would work too. I just don't.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ways. Matt's got
Yeah.
some really cool methods, some like using the cloth brushes and stuff.
I think the easiest thing is with like actual topology, you can like frame the different
Yeah,
parts, like your poly groups and stuff like that. But I guess specifically, you're trying to. What are you trying to do? You're trying to make tubes like follow around a surface?
Yeah, I think what I was impressed with it is like he had perfect control over it, and the way I was making tubes, I was just using the tube insert cylinder with a curve on it, and then you like if the tube was just kind of swaying there and like it didn't matter, then it worked well. But if it had to follow an exact path, you could never figure out how to get it to do that.
Interesting.
And I saw him do it too, which is like
I'd have to see. I'd have to see it just to know what.
Yeah, I'd have to say exactly because I mean, there's obviously the curved tube snap brush, right, where you draw the curve on the mesh. Are you trying to select a part of the model and have like a certain like mesh run along it on a curve?
I think that's what I'm trying. Well, I'm not trying to do it right now with what I'm working on, but
Right.
That's what I was thinking I wanted to do. It was like,
Got it.
because it would be like running. Say it was like you have a mech suit and you're like it's going up from the wrist up through the forearm, and then it's gonna wiggle around a little weirdness by the elbow, and then wrap around and go into like a really cool looking piece of mech on the back of like by the tricep or something. Something like that. It's hard to do with the just the old draw along.
Got it. Yeah.
Because it does tend to like get a little hairy and you start losing control. The longer you draw, the less control you have with it. So when I saw him do that, I was
spheres converted paths is what James is saying.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think that might be it. I think that might be it. Yeah. Especially for mech stuff,
Yeah, which I don't do too much of, but
No, us either.
the guy who says it, the guy who's responsible for every Mechagodzilla ever made, that's not Japanese.
I know.
He doesn't do too much mech stuff.
I don't do. I mean, I guess on my free time.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, like
you've done
kit bashing versus like making like a bunch of like different shapes and stuff. That's a lot of the way that I've seen concept artists like really just approach something very quickly. Is like you've accumulated a huge kit of hard surface pieces, and you mash them together and make your own pieces and you start slamming them in.
Yeah, it takes
a lot.
time. Yeah, you have to take.
Oh, big time.
You have to take that time to build that kit. But it's worth it if you're doing it. But man,
I absolutely know what you're talking about. But I'm like, I don't think people understand how much skill it takes to use kit bashing techniques. And then when you're done, it doesn't look like a used kit bashing techniques.
Yeah,
that's the skill in itself that like I know when I'm using kit bashing techniques, it looks like I did, and I'm not too impressed with myself for it. So what can you do? But like to have a completely finished piece, and you don't know where the kit bashing started and ended, and where like just your regular sculpting work goes in. I mean that's super respectable skill right there.
Yeah, because and in the back of your mind, you just always know you're like, this is Kit Bash.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
so it says Beaker 12 or whatever. You're like,
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess we think that as we're using it, but the rest, most of the world has
most of the
no.
world doesn't know or care.
Yeah, only ZBrush artists would know that.
Yeah, exactly.
But usually those are the people that are looking at your shit and saying, "Wow, this guy's good," or "Wow, this guy Kit bashes."
Or he's good at Kit Bashing.
Exactly. And like if you could say that, have a fellow artist recognize that you're good at that, then you made it. Because yeah, I mean, I don't know how anyone. I don't even know how those kit bashing kits were made. They're so low resolution and so highly detailed.
Yeah, I mean that's like
modeling at its finest, right?
that's some serious poly modeling, and then or they use CAD or NURBS or something.
Super impressive. Just mind blowing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Greebling. Is there no greater word than greebling? Greebles.
says Greebles.
Greebles and Nernies.
Excellent.
Excellent. Bring me my greebles. Bring me the Nernies. The Chamfer. Chamfer. Chamfer sounds like a Yale grad. Hey, I'm Chamfer.
It definitely does when you say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to kayak.
Great. Really great.
Really great.
Oh. And the contrast slider that they added.
Oh, I love that thing.
Ooh, that's like, yeah, that's such a beautiful addition. So like every time they upgrade ZBrush, there's at least one thing that
You got this one thing right, guys. Still can't get rendering, but you got this one thing. Have you tried using the ray trace?
Redshift.
The Redshift?
I have it. I bought it. I just haven't launched it because I know that I have to sit there and start from scratch, figure out what does this button do? What does this button do? And I'm like, if I'm pressed for time, I don't have time to learn as I go, especially when I'm that stupid about it.
Oh dang! Can I cancel Redshift and have a cheaper ZBrush subscription?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think you
Oh,
don't have to,
wow.
you don't have to have.
Well, I'm gonna get rid of that thing like the second we're done.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think it's all that expensive either.
well,
Compared to ZBrush. ZBrush is the big chunk of what you're paying.
yeah, well, it'll be cheap.
It's just like almost like a gift. I'm sure if you learn how to use it, it'll serve you well. I don't
want it.
Man, just no.
It's garbage.
Nope.
Sorry. I mean,
Sorry.
love ZBrush, but man,
We love you guys.
that is garbage.
What?
I'm trying to protect you!
It's fun. I'm dying and it's fun.
Sounds like you might be passing away.
Slowly dying.
You're making me laugh by saying you're slowly dying.
Slowly.
It's funny, but
I mean, we all are, I guess.
yeah, that's funny too.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually hilarious.
That's
Yeah.
actually really funny.
Yeah.
Save us.
Our mortality. It's pretty cool.
I went to see Civil War. Did anyone see that?
No, man.
I saw
Like
it.
it?
I wanted to like it. I don't think I did.
Really?
Yeah, it's not what you think. It's not what it looks like.
Yeah, it's nothing.
The trailer was mind-blowing.
It's nothing of what you would expect for sure.
I mean,
The trailer
everyone
was
says it's more about the journalism.
yeah, exactly. It's actually really kind of boring. To be honest. It has great sequences, but overall, I was more bored than I was anything.
Really?
Yeah, but I love that director.
Man.
Yeah, Garland is great.
Oh,
I mean, the
great
movie was really good. It's just that it's more of a study on humanity than anything. You know, like if you want to go in there and figure out the politics and all that stuff, you'll be left blind for sure. That's not what the movie's about.
Yeah, I get that, but it still needed a little bit of backstory, something to get you invested. I guess you were just kind of like supposed to be following along with the.
It just throws you right. That's what I've read, is that it just throws you right in.
I get it. I totally get that, and maybe that's probably a smart decision. I just think there was a different way of going about it to keep, at least so that I would be more entertained. I mean, it just went from action sequence to very slow, quiet scenes. Maybe that was the point, but it was like it was starting to lose me after a bit.
Huh.
But when it works well, and it's a beautiful movie to watch. Kind of sad at times. I hope nothing like that ever happens here ever. It's a strange time for that movie to have come out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the point too. Like,
Thanks, Alex.
but yeah, I mean, I'll watch anything he puts out because I know he's
Well, he's very.
this is so good. He's unique. I really enjoyed that TV show he did, Debs.
Yeah, dude, it was so good.
I think that movie or that show went way over my head.
It was
Yeah, probably mine too, but I still enjoyed watching it.
I
I was still in.
really dumb watching that.
weird.
Ron Swanson was the CEO.
Indeed. He's like really become an actor to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he's an actor's actor.
Killing it later.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great in Last of Us.
Yeah, and
Really?
Jared's in Last of Us, and even the small part he has in this movie is pretty good.
Like America's.
Oh,
What's the deal? Like Texas and California?
they don't explain it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
It's not explained. Sorry, spoilers, but
It's just not what the movie's about.
yeah, it's not what the movie's about. But I kind of wanted a little bit to get invested in that because I wasn't into it.
It's about the power of friendship.
Friendship.
Friendship. Alex Garland. Director of Friendship.
Did you guys see Men? The movie he did called Men?
Yeah.
It's crazy. That had a crazy
Yeah,
ending.
the ending's incredible, dude.
Yeah.
I think it just came out on HBO.
It's worth watching. I mean, just the
Oh, I definitely need to watch it.
ending that you like can't even predict. Pow.
Oh, we got Jared Modena in the house.
Hey, Jared.
What's up, Jared? From one Jared to another. A lot of Jareds. Jared is Jared. As Americans, are you tired of endless political left-right drama? I mean, in the real world, yeah.
Yeah.
In the real world, sure.
In that one particular movie, I could have used more of it. But in the real world, absolutely not. Please, I'm done with it.
Yeah, I mean, we're all tired. We're all very tired. It's been a long road.
What's Command A do in ZBrush?
Command A?
Well, I'm on a Mac, so hit Command A. I guess it's selecting. I've never used that.
It looks like it masks.
It looks like it's masking a shape almost. I guess it's like a mask all. Is that what it is? I never used it before. It's interesting. I just learned mask all.
It just looks like it's masked.
Accent.
Yeah, just
I've never used that.
Just
It's probably a mask, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So, control. What happens if you just mask something and then control A? Just mask the whole thing. Okay. I guess if you just want to quickly mask something, everything else.
That's actually pretty useful.
It is actually pretty handy,
Yeah.
except for like one section.
Except for when you hit it by accident. And
Yeah.
You didn't even know.
Control A.
Yeah, I need to go see what's up with that boy.
That boy.
Whoa. Let me see. I always have this weird struggle with something when I sculpt something and I like the way it looks, and then I just start swinging it around to try to find that one pose that looks the best.
And then
and I can't find it. And I'm like, well, but the sculpt looks good. Why can't I get that one angle that I like? And it just,
yeah.
It's like, in my brain though. It's not real. It's not. It's like your brain telling you like none of it is working. So don't think about the beauty render. Move on to something else. I don't know if that's.
No, I know what you mean. It's weird.
It's demons telling me like you suck, or is it just it's part of the struggle, I guess.
I think that's just fighting it, you know.
But it happens every single time, and it's emotional. It really gets to me after a while. Like I'm like, did I just spend 9 hours sculpting something that sucks? Is that what happens?
Yeah.
So you really do have to like beat that down and proceed. Just do it. But usually walking away and coming back a little while later, that it does help. Like it's just something a hurdle you have to
Like I hate it. Oh, this is not too bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It looks good.
It's not that bad.
What's wrong with me? It really is a thing, I wonder how many people that just give up on completely really cool projects because.
Well, that's the difference between the pro and the amateur, right? The pro knows you just got to fight through that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it doesn't matter who you are, you're gonna feel it.
You're gonna feel it no matter what. Because we've spoken to a lot of artists here, and it's very common to experience that. At every, they all go through it, and so everyone goes through it, and you go through it.
Then it's supposed to happen.
It's supposed to happen. That's the process.
Yeah. I guess as soon as you.
But it hurts.
Yeah, it really does.
It hurts. It's not like it's easy or like. That's why we do this show, and in some ways is to just share the the communal feeling of, oh my God, I hate it. I've walked away more than once on this show and been like, what the hell am I doing?
I mean, it's all right. Like
that's interesting because it takes guts to put yourself out there like that.
Yeah.
It's looking crazy good, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are out here doing it. I'm sure you're feeling the same kind of things that I just spoke on. And
Oh yeah, man.
it doesn't stop you from doing it, so you have to, just whatever you got going on. But when you guys are this good, even the stuff that you think looks bad, it definitely looks good.
Matt, is your mic muted? Is mic muted, Matt?
Hello, my mic is muted.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we do put ourselves out there, and but all the time we struggle, and it seems to alternate.
Oh, dude, we have abandoned. I mean, we have abandoned children on this show. for
So
sure.
many times we're just like, yeah, I hate it.
I'm like, you know what? This makes me want to cut my legs off. So let's change the subject. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I mean, the show is for fun, right? First and foremost, you just have a good time.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But there's still the performance like of it. You know,
Yeah.
you want it to be representative of you and your skill set. And sometimes whenever we come up with the prompt 30 seconds beforehand, it works perfectly, and then other times it's
It's real painful.
Yeah.
It's real painful. I have a whole bunch of.
You don't know what you're going to be sculpting about 5 minutes before you start.
Usually, yeah.
It could be
So I mean,
a recipe for disaster.
I have lists that I've written down of stuff that we have talked about doing, and Killer Instinct was one of those.
Oh, that paid off. All of that stuff came out beautiful.
Oh, Slayer.
What's the one that you hated the most? That you actually took it to the end.
Oh my god!
Took it to the end. I don't know if we
I don't know if we've ever taken one to the end.
well that we didn't.
Well, yeah, as close as to the end as I guess you could say.
I don't know. I mean,
Xeno by a Dragon.
I loved that whole thing. Yeah, you have a vendetta against yours though.
I do. I know.
You're a little personally miffed about it. I think he's awesome.
No, I like it now more with some distance.
But 10 weeks straight.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
10 weeks straight was a lot.
Really.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
a
when
lot.
you do 2 hours, so that's
And that's the other thing is 2 hours at a time is not enough to enter a flow state.
And
you
it's
know,
also like the hugest prompt ever.
It,
It's a dragon.
It was
and
not
it's
a quick. Yeah, it was not a quick.
Being a dragon.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, dragons in general. That's
Just
where-
dragons in general.
Yeah.
And Matt knows about dragons.
No, an S&M dragon.
Let me tell you about some dragons.
Matt knows about dragons.
I did that year probably over 100 dragons.
Over 100 dragons.
Were you working on Game of Thrones or something?
No, I was working with Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, there you go.
On over 100.
Dragons.
I mean, whenever you've got 10 dragons and 10 different versions per pop, maybe some you've got 20, maybe some you've got 5. There were so many dragons. And you wonder, like, will I ever be able to show these dragons?
But you picked up some cool techniques doing those dragons too.
Yeah, I figured out a couple of really interesting scaling techniques using, what was it, chisel? I think the chisel brush.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing. Anything to really enhance scaling techniques, it's important when you're working on lots of reptiles and monsters and shit.
Yeah, because it's not like surface level scaling, right? It's like the spikes and the plates and getting them to fit into these perfect design lines based off of these incredible character sheets and stuff, and seeing how it works in 3D. It would take forever to do it one at a time, hand by hand,
Yeah, absolutely. And like anything that looks damn good and it's fast, that's like the holy grail.
I'm actually trying to remember how to do that right now. I'm like, how did I do that? I don't know. A lot of dragons.
Lots of dragons.
Actually, let me just see. Where are these dragons at?
Give me all that stuff.
I just want to show like an example of one dragon.
Please. I would
I
love to see that.
I don't know if. Oh, here they are.
It's too late for me. I'm
Yes.
awake now.
I'm awake now.
Tries to rip the ceiling off the Wright brothers off the ceiling.
Okay, unofficial. This is like some of the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
That's just a beauty render, you know.
That's just a beautiful face shape.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
That's all I can show.
How long did that take?
Oh man, I don't know. I think you know, you block in all the shapes one day, and then the next day you do the scales. I think by that time, that was like
Day of scales.
that was literally like I had done so many dragons before then. I was just like, okay, as long as I can just land all these shapes, I'll just start slamming out scale workflows, you know. And it ended up becoming like a pretty sick process. With just like some regular stuff, you know, it's all like vector displacement. Sometimes you make big patches, but other times you want like the scales to go from really small to really big and in a very certain line. And that's where if you're sitting there like dragging one, I mean, I'll try and remember how to do it. Let's just see. So let's insert a plane. This is about to be either really impressive or highly embarrassing.
Even all that embarrassing because the dragon you just showed looked incredible. So
Yeah, man, you're good.
I've never seen that dragon, and I don't know what it's from. Okay, so we're just going to make a basic scale here.
Listen up, kiddies.
Let's see.
anyone sculpting kaiju with scales is important stuff.
Let's see. Just
And
like
even if you don't know how to do it, it's still important.
it's okay. Okay. So let's do brush from mesh. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I see. It's not on the. Hold on. Oh, okay. Is it on the grid? Yeah. So let's do brush, chisel, from mesh to grab that dock. Okay, sick. So now we've got this. You can drag it out like a regular scale, right? And then so whenever you're doing dragons and stuff like that, you'll end up having like, I'll have like 7 base scales, and then I'll be like, okay, let's make like some smaller patches, you know. You can make more, you know, from mesh. You can make more little pockets of these or whatever, right? Which is like a standard. But if you use it's not the chisel brush. Do you remember what it was called? It defaults on I think they introduced it, was it something with an S? Yeah, the scribe. That's right. Scribe chisel, right? And so this gives you a curve, and then whenever you drag it, the alpha pops up and it's tapered, right? So with this alpha, you can do from mesh. make your curve, drag it out, and you'll see that it has that like alpha imprint. You can see the anti-aliasing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you go up here to your stroke, and in your curve, yeah, right under here under curve, substeps, let's just bring this down to like 5. And since it's a live curve, I'll tap on it. Well, I kind of, for some reason, it's not doing what I want it to do. Let's see. Oh, it's on it's on subtract. Okay, so now you can see, right? So I've got too many, and let's do, well, it ends up being,
Yeah.
but you can see like kind of the, let's actually take it all the way down. Here, what is this? I can't remember. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I have like this line of scales, like if this was some sort of, and usually it won't update on the mesh like this, it'll be live on the surface, which was why it was such a big deal, because if you had like an exact curve like on this, I mean, let's just see, like I said, it's either going to work or not work. Yeah. Maybe in practice. I can't really remember how I did, but it was something really cool like that.
It definitely start. Yeah, I think it's a lot of screwing around with the tweakers and all, but it's looking like an absolute useful approach for sure.
Yeah, the way that I had it, well, the thing is it can really kind of be super taxing. So I would have a complete separate project for that, and I would just be like, I would draw the lines on, and for some reason I'm having to drag it. I don't know why I have to drag it. I've got the brush saved on my other computer, I think, but it was nuts. You could just like drag these out, and it would be perfect, right? And you would change like I guess the size.
It's definitely new to me because I didn't even know scribe chisel was a thing.
Yeah, man. Got that magic. Still
I know.
nuts.
They recently added like the other stroke abilities to IMM brushes, so now you can just like draw whatever what you used to have to just drag rectangle or drag rect. Now you can just draw like a line and a bunch of them appear. So that's how I was doing a lot of scaling for some Ghidorah model I did, and it saves a lot of time, but it definitely gets hairy. And each one of those things has geometry, so it gets heavy really fast.
Gotta decimate that stuff before you draw it on.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it was small enough, and I didn't think it through because I wasn't like I didn't realize that it was gonna have to be literally like 500,000 on the screen.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so I was like kind of like separating them to all different body parts. Some body parts that were too big, we're getting like 3 rings of them. It turned into a huge project. It looked good in the end, but I'm like, it's got to be a better way.
And that's the thing, is in the back of your mind, you're always like, there's got to be a better way to be doing this.
Yeah.
Surely I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, look at that pose, man. That's cool. And the dragon.
Yeah, I'm kind of pleased with it. I kind of, after hating on it, I kind of like it.
Gotta hate on it. It's kind of
The
part
exact opposite of what I was saying before. Right? Like,
Hey.
oh, I like something, and then I can't get the hang of it.
I like it. I hate it. I like it. I hate it.
You gotta treat it like shit for a while when you fall in.
Beat it up. Organic greebling. I gotta remember that.
Yeah, I wonder if there's actually a word for it.
I think you just found it.
Well, it's 2 words.
Well, 2 words. But it works.
My man.
My man.
I am not convinced.
Of what?
I'm trying to remember how I did this. And then if you do the sub-steps up, yeah, I don't know why it's drawing another line. You used to be able to click it. I wonder if what are the tools
Maybe
do?
maybe it's that it's on the plane or the.
No, but you can see like that. It's supposed to be like this, but the curve is always live, but it's starting to draw a new one. There's got to be some sort of curve function. I don't know, but that, in principle, you can see that right there. Yeah, that's much more. Because the curve resolution is going to delegate how many pop up.
I was gonna say, is it in relation to your camera view?
It's all based on the normal.
Okay.
But how it was working, and maybe next episode I'll figure it out. You would be able to just edit the one like this. It would already pop up instead of me having to move it around.
Yeah, I remember you live updating it.
Yeah, like because I've done it before, right? That was like forever ago. But then you'd be able to like just infinitely tweak it. I actually made a tutorial, like an old school computer tutorial on where I just took pictures. And I was like, this is a step-by-step on how to do this dumb thing. James, no, it's not. I actually just did that old school. Just for the war bat fins on the belly, I just made one giant piece and just kind of bent it into shape.
Jammed it in there.
Yeah, I've got the brush saved somewhere. I have no idea, man. Let's see. It's gonna bother me.
These are the scales I did on the Ghidorah. This took
Oh damn, dude.
forever to do, and each one is they're
Did you nanomesh that or is that
no, I drew them in one at a time.
one at a time?
But
Yes.
I think at
Yes.
some point we figured out a way to when they implemented the new where you could draw a line of them,
Yeah.
and they would just go, and that helped a lot. But it was still drawing every line at a time, and it's a million pieces, and it was a ton of work. But it was the best results, so I had to do it that way, the hardest possible way.
Look at that boy though.
I wanted it to like,
Very classic.
yeah, it had to look like
Classic,
the old
Right.
classic suit.
That looks really good.
That looks really good.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I think they actually have changed the scribe function because I did find my brush, but it's not updating like it used to. It actually is working pretty decent.
But it's not working anymore.
No, I mean it works, but you still got to drag it. But and then you can't update it. But you can see how quickly you can just like
Yeah,
drag
it's
in
done
some
some
scale.
really fast.
But you used to be able to actually, yeah, keep it live. I wonder what's up with that. That makes me sad.
It kind of sucks, like when you're done with the project, that all those amazing techniques that you had, you kind of, if you're not using them constantly, they kind of escape you. And then,
You're like, how did I do that?
yeah, how the hell did I do
How
that?
did I do that?
What the hell? That is annoying.
Change this shit.
It's gonna bother Matt for a while.
Yeah, I'm upset. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna roll back to the old ZBrush and see if it works in that. Let's see here. Oh, well, then naturally, actually, here's a ton of spikes that I made. You can always do the drag dots. Like if you, because I think I just made like, let's undo this. This is a really good way, like those Ghidorah scales that you were just showing.
Yeah.
Make a giant patch of those things. You can just use the drag dots, right? And what I actually, I remember this now. You can do like after you lay your one like little strip down.
Yeah.
You can do your masking, mask by changed points.
Yep.
Where's
Mask
that?
Love that.
Yeah, and then you can kind of boost that, and then you can do your next, and it won't go over it, right?
Oh wow, I was
Just
just about to
just like
ask
that.
you.
Just like
Yeah,
that.
how do you minimize the overlap?
So then you do it again, mask by change points, boost, smaller, and then you get your, your additional scales, and they won't overlap, and it's that perfect gradient. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, use
This is
the
a
dots.
beautiful thing.
Use the dots a lot. Dots were nice.
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 Jared, man, you did a lot of work today. That thing looks completely different now.
What the what? Mine?
Your monster looks completely different than
Yeah, dude, he evolved quite a bit today, didn't
gave him a lot
Yeah,
of-
he looks good,
Looks
dude.
great.
I like him.
So,
Hey, this is great, man.
he? It only took me 3 episodes to get there.
It looks good, dude.
but you got there.
But that's the thing, is that's what it takes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but double cool.
You know,
Yeah, but gotta go.
yeah, but gabagoo.
What's that thing on the back? It's like a
This shell thing.
yeah. I was because it looks like it has a from the front. It looks like it has a hinge, almost like it could move.
Yeah, it could like move up or something.
Mm.
Kind of like a beetle, or I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's some weird ass wings or appendages in there.
Yeah, there could be other stuff going on in there. That's the thing, is you gotta sometimes, you gotta fight it. I like to think my pieces eventually evolve into what they need to be. Oh, look at that, dude. That's rad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I got
awesome,
him
dude.
to stand up. I got him to stand up for a second.
Yeah, that's killer, bro. Love it.
He's a happy guy. I still don't have.
He's a happy guy.
He's a happy guy.
I named the file Two Turtle, but that's not his name, so I don't know what to do.
Two
with it.
turtle.
Two
Yeah,
turtle.
that's sick, dude. That looks great, bud.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that, dude. You got them color jammies in there.
Love it. I really like the color scheme on this guy.
Let's go into Bug Zone. Yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. It's pretty cool. There's a lot going on. I like his head. It's a cool head. Something's going on with it.
You'd hang out with him.
I'd probably kick it with him if I needed to.
Yeah. If he seems like if he's not actively trying to kill you, that he might actually be kind of on the show.
Which he is actively trying to
They're
kill.
actively working to kill you.
That's his
I'll
whole
kill
thing.
you.
No, kill you.
Ow, ew.
I'm well within my rights to kill you right now.
Cut to, we're at your bachelor party. Yeah, there he is. 3 wildly different kaiju guys.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Kaiju buddies.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
of course.
man, you just threw some color on it, and it's beautiful already. Those are interesting colors. Very cool.
I was actually just chimping off yours, man, because I saw that orange in there. I'm like, oh, I'll just go bright orange.
Yeah, it's nice. It looks really good.
Color does a lot. Color does a lot of work.
Yeah, it can make it alien very quickly, you know?
Yeah, it's a. Yeah, it's great. How are you getting? No, I just realized that's not all one piece. You're not like a T-pose mesh or something. Like
My guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's,
the arm is all one piece, right?
yeah, the arms are one piece.
Okay.
And
Because it looks like you're covering large areas with one without toggling through different tools.
yeah. I'm just,
Really actually kind of big.
yeah. I just knew I might as well keep the arms separate objects, you know.
Yeah, sure. As soon as you like.
And with shells, it's easier to just kind of do that, and then I can be like, "Ah, ah, ah, ah." But once I threw the arms down, I was like, oh, there's the attitude.
Love it.
This is our other favorite song.
Love this song.
It goes near.
What's going on here?
Yep.
That's funny. It hasn't changed too much. I found the first week is where I finished on. So kind of the attitude is still the same.
Yeah, dude, he looks great, dude.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Really good job.
Oh wow.
Oh, Ghidorah.
think I'm going to call him Tim.
You gonna call him Tim?
Yeah, I haven't named any of my guys Tim yet, so I figured I'd name this one Tim.
It's a good idea. Never heard of a Tim. Tim?
Timothy.
Timothy? Might call mine, I don't know, Clint.
You said Cliff?
Cliff? Cliff? Bert? Mac? Lenny.
Lenny's good.
That's Leonard.
Would I ever use Substance Painter for my concepts? Not unless they gave you sufficient time.
Yeah. Yeah, you would need like
You can set up Substance Painter in the same way as Keyshot, where you have a bunch of I've got a bunch of materials and texture sets and stuff like that. But I mean, the concept workflow is very demanding for speed. There's
and iteration.
Yeah, and you're gonna break your UVs, and you're gonna change your model and all that stuff. So
A lot, yeah.
it's really more of a ladder step for sure.
Like how much time you got, how many options do they need? Usually for concept, they don't need that final look.
Yeah, they're looking for the idea. Remember,
Yeah.
everybody wants a pretty picture, but at the end of the day, most of the concept art out there is like pretty rushed and sloppy, but the idea is conveyed. And then you get to go back in later and like push it, get your revisions in, hopefully.
Yeah, if all's going well.
Yeah. Well, what are you guys feeling?
I feel good, man. I
Yeah.
actually feel good today.
I think you should. It looks amazing.
That's what we like to hear, man. Yeah, he looks great.
Updated designs and the colors. I mean, you really. It's beautiful.
He came together in the end, didn't he?
It's
Got some Starship Trooper vibes.
A little bit. And I just hit the back of my undo. So it's gonna be I'll see you guys in like 20 minutes.
Oh no.
All right. Well, yeah, that was a good session, man. You guys are killing it.
There we go. Oh my God. No one ever checks that out. See if I can.
Nice.
It's an interesting material. Is it a material or is it just?
Oh, I was doing that NPR stuff.
Bless me. Thank you.
Oh, shoot. Nice.
Yeah, it's a fun fence. Huh? That's working on.
I think I'll take the time it takes to do that surgery I was talking about earlier and bring this guy into Keyshot and try to pull out an interesting render. I just don't want to do it in the stream because it's not very exciting to watch.
It's yeah.
It's like to save it out as a new file. And it's just, I'd rather do that. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing around in Keyshot to get the render on the stream. That would be interesting. But
You want to come back? You want to come back?
I mean, if you guys aren't sick of me yet, yeah, I would.
No, dude, come back. Come finish it up.
Yeah, I would love that.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's nice having you here. It's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
thing, you know.
I love it too, and it's just cool. I kind of really want 3D prints of what you guys are working on too.
Hey,
For sure.
Unknowingly is here. Hello, Unknowingly.
Yeah, it's been a good time, dude.
Who is the artist who inspired you to do concept creature design?
Oof. You guys. But before you guys, it was like the guys that you were gonna say, like Juantes, Carlos Juante, Simon Lee, and Steve Wang, and Rick Baker. There's just anybody making monsters.
Yeah,
Excited
it's a big list.
to make monsters. Yeah, so it just goes
it's a
on
big
and on.
list.
And on. Lots of Japanese artists too, because I'm big on Japanese giant monsters, and they make them the way I like them. So names I can't remember or pronounce properly, but you probably love them too. Yasushi Nirasawa is a huge influence.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, his work. I couldn't get
Every
enough.
every creature artist needs a diet of Nirasawa.
Yeah. Anyway, I probably told this story before, but I got to the point where he actually followed me on Twitter.
Really?
I was like, oh my God. And then within a couple of weeks, he died. And I was like, oh no. I mean, he didn't speak English, so I was not like we were going to communicate very well. And this is back before like you could instantly translate posts. But just to see that he followed, like he was aware of my presence. I was like, whoa. That was something else. I didn't even know he was sick, if he was, or it was just kind of like. Matt, when you're posing things with wings, you like have to redo the fleshy membrane a lot because you move all the digits.
Oh man, it just depends
kind of-
on how you. Yeah, it just depends on how you do it. Like right now, I'm just merging everything together. But I mean, a really good way around that now is the transposed cloth. Like you just the cloth tools, But I mean, like this. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything crazy with his digits and stuff. I'm gonna keep it really simple and probably get like a lower angle on the shot where you're looking up at him. But yeah, I mean that there's always going to be that thing that you've got to resculpt, and
yeah, especially with those.
get back into.
Because stranger to that, the warbats like have that kind of fleshy membrane as well.
Yeah, that one was actually how I think I landed that was I actually made a rig in Maya and rigged up my model and very quickly just made these insane poses, and I would just bring the model back into ZBrush.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looked like you had super good control over.
Yeah, dude, there's no way I would be able to do that, and like, especially like 15 poses in a work day or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. But that's when you bring in your expertise to the table. Because I didn't know when I first saw those designs, I didn't know who you were, and I was just saying, God damn, this is good. And how are they doing this so fast? Yeah. So when I said, yeah, you guys inspire me, it's the honest truth. Like before I knew your names, I was looking at your work, saying that's what I want to do.
That's awesome, dude.
Sure. So
Just messing around with NPR at this point.
yeah, it's one of the best mats they ever put in there.
Oh my God, he's so goddamn cool!
Alrighty, boys. We think.
Yeah, dude, I'm ready.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this really come together.
Yeah, next week let's get him into Rendies.
Awesome, absolutely.
Man, I forgot how much I like this NPR look.
Yeah, that looks awesome, dude.
Works
That's
with it, you know?
Super cool. Yeah. Super cool. Yeah, looking great, dudes.
Hell yeah. Look at us go. Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us. All right. Get your camis. Get your camis back. All right. Hey, DopePope. Third round. I love it.
Yeah, man. It's
Thanks for hanging out with us.
I can't believe I'm still here.
Yeah. Well,
Coming back.
Let's
It's
do
great.
it again,
Have a
baby.
good-
I love it. I love it. Well, thanks to our sponsor, Dell, for tonight's stream. Thank you to Gnomon School of Visual Effects. Thank you to James. If you want to follow DopePope, it's at DopePope with
Dope.
2 zeros.
Zeros for yeah. There you go.
I'm at Monster Mash 042 at Jared Krichevsky. Matt Millard's at Itchy Tasty _ at Matt Millard 3D. We'll see you next week on Creature Corner. We're gonna make some more monsters. Good night.
Yeah.
Later, guys.